This is day 37 of trying to predict the winners of every NHL game to see if I can break 500 of the regular season. We had a game between the Stars and the Canadiens here, going with the Habs every time, but the Stars are going to be a really, really good test for the Canadiens, so it should be an interesting game. We have the Kings and the Leafs up next year. I'm going to go with the Kings on this one. The Leafs have just not been looking very strong at all. Meanwhile, the Kings had a really, really strong game against the Canadiens 2 days ago, so going with the Kings on this one. We have the Oilers and the Blue Jackets here. The Blue Jackets, they're not a bad team by any means. These two teams actually are pretty similar record-wise overall. But, when in doubt, I feel like the Oilers offense gets it done. They got it done against the Blue Jackets not that long ago. It's a rematch here, so I'm going to go with the Oilers again here. We have the Bruins and the Senators here. You know what? I just feel like, it's Linus Ullmark playing against his former team here. The Bruins have been really, really hot. They won 7 in a row, I think, but I feel like they're due for a loss. I think the Senators are going to win this one. We have the Ducks and the Red Wings up next year. Going to go with the Ducks until it stops working. I feel like they're one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now, and for good reason. They're playing really, really well. Their young stars are producing for them, so I'm going to go with the Ducks on this one. We have the Capitals and the Panthers here. When in doubt, go with the Panthers. I just feel like that's the safe bet, but these two teams have identical records and for good reason here, so it should be a pretty good game. We have the Sabres and the Avalanche up next year. The Avalanche are one of the best teams in the league for a reason. I feel like, they're a safe bet pretty much all the time. I'd love to say that the Sabres are due for a big win, but I'm not sure that's true. Going with the Avs on this one. We have the Sharks and the Flames here. Going with the Sharks right away. I mean, for good reason. I feel like, they're one of the hottest Teams in the league. Macklin Celebrini is doing what he's doing, so I'm going with the Sharks on this one. We have the Islanders and the Golden Knights here. Going with the Islanders on this one. I feel like, the Golden Knights haven't really proven that they're, one of the top teams in the league right now. Matthew Schaefer is doing his thing every time he's out there, so going with the Islanders on this one. And then we get the Jets and the Kraken to end things off here. I'd like to see the Jets kind of pull away as one of the better teams in the league as well. They have 6 regulation losses there, but I'm still going to go with them to win this one, but the Kraken could make things interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in day 38.